We were literally walking across the stage to get to the audience to literally sign up. And I had a mental full-on, as a young child, a full-on mental breakdown. Like, started screaming, crying. Like, I couldn't handle being on the stage. I literally thought that I was going on the stage to perform. And so she literally tricked me into going and shoved me in the door. Was like, see ya. And I was like, oh my
brother.
There's a lot of things I had to do where it was uncomfortable, or a lot of things on stage in front of hundreds of people that would go wrong.
Start being the role model that you want to be for your kids now, so that when you do get into a marriage or you do become a dad or a mom, that you already have that established and you're not just now learning how to mature. It's not my life. Hey, welcome back to the Not My Life podcast, everybody. It's not my life I live, but Christ who lives in me. If this is your first time clicking on, I'm your host, Kale McCarthy, and I'm so thankful that you decided to join me today. I do release new episodes every Not My Life Monday if you want to go ahead and follow along. Like I said last week, guys, the podcast is going to go through some fun changes. So not only can you watch the Not My Life podcast on YouTube, but you can also watch it on Spotify too if you're listening there. Also, we changed up the intro music. There's going to be new places that we do the podcast, and you'll just have to see. But today I got to talk with one of my best friends, Anna Lunger, and we had such a fun conversation together. So, in the meantime, buckle your seatbelts, grab something that sounds good to you for a snack. My guilty pleasure lately is Pop-Tarts. Oh my gosh. If somebody hands me a Pop-Tart, I'm gone. Literally, they're in the vending machine at work, and I'm like, it's bad. It's literally an addiction. I don't care though, because they're so good. But anyways, guys, here is my conversation with my friend, Anna Lunger. Anna, welcome to the podcast. Anna Lunger.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Yep. Nice seeing you. That's all. That was it. The podcast was that easy.
Good. I'm so excited.
Whoa. The voice really came out today.
That was good. That was a happy scream.
Okay. Guys, welcome to the Not My Life I already said this in the beginning. Whatever. You know what podcast it is. You clicked on it.
Yeah.
This is one of my best friends, Anna Lunger. Anna, how are you doing today? Anyways, what is...
Good.
So Anna has been on 2 previous episodes and
Yeah.
appeared in the Thanksgiving episode as
Yeah.
well. So this is like your 4th time on the podcast. You're like a regular.
I am a regular.
Yeah, she's a
privilege.
She's a regular. She's
Privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I always ask everybody, but what is one word and why to describe how your life is going right now?
You know, every time you've asked me this question, they're not really positive words, and I'm gonna be completely honest. I think one word might be uncertain. It's like
We
kind
said
of
we were-
sad. I know, but it's uncertain.
Why?
I think exciting. I have so many really great things to look forward to, and I would say exciting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different words I could choose and use, but I think exciting is the right one I should be using today.
I like that. What's exciting about today?
What
did we do today besides?
We went to the Crow's Nest in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Never been. Bussin' breakfast. I don't want to say bussin'. Please cut that out. It was an immaculate breakfast.
Nothing's cut out. Sorry. Nope. Denied.
Immaculate breakfast.
There we go. That was a better response. Woo! Immaculate.
Immaculate. Okay.
What'd you get?
I got.
That sounds good. And gravy, yeah. Oh, Kira did this on the last podcast,
She
ASMR.
did. That's
She's
why
like,
I like her. I
she's
know.
like, bugs.
Girl, I know. Girl.
Girl.
I know she's got the good.
Anna got breakfast. I got a burger.
Yo, his burger was.
I forgot her birthday,
Immaculate.
everybody. I forgot her birthday. And
Don't keep saying.
Parker reminded me. Anna's significant other.
He's absent.
He's absent. He's
This is
gone
the
at
first
war.
time.
He's gone at war.
Oh.
Is that a touchy topic? I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I thought we were going to talk about emotional things.
Just say anything today.
Okay.
Seriously.
Okay. The jiggle from your coffee. You weren't supposed to say anything. Okay. No, but what?
We went to breakfast this morning.
Yeah, breakfast. Well, duh.
This is the first time on the podcast where Parker's not with me. So my partner in crime.
My partner.
He's gone.
He's gone.
But that's okay.
He is overseas, and I'm sorry, I keep bringing it up. No, he's literally an hour away. But we're just not wasting the gas money right now today to go see him because he's studying.
I think he's gonna come see me later this week.
He better. He's not gonna come see me though.
He better.
He better.
You better work.
He better work. Yeah, our waitress today was really nice.
She was a little ray of
I was like, thank you so much for the water. She's like, oh, no, absolutely, duh.
She's like duh.
Like, she literally said, duh. Like, it's what I do. It's my job.
Service.
5-star service.
Yes. But tomorrow I'll get my wisdom teeth out.
Yummy. I told Anna today that when I got all my wisdom teeth out, I got addicted to the Norco drugs after the Norco drugs. After my wisdom teeth surgery, the bottle ran out and I was like furious. I was like, I need more. I needed more.
You know, it makes me not want to take it.
But the pain is substantial, so you're going to want to take it.
You know?
But it's not that bad. But I'm really glad that I ran out of those drugs.
Do it.
I could throw up right now.
Okay.
Okay, I was just telling Anna too.
So sorry.
You ever just eat and then you have like moments of like I could violently throw up right here, right now.
Probably not a good thing, but
like my tonsil stones.
You have tonsil stones? Yeah. You can cough those up.
Oh yeah, I feel like I've coughed one on you before without you knowing, on your jacket. Yeah. I'm not even joking. It was either you or Parker. You were talking. I cough and it's like on your jacket. I'm like, oh Anna, and then just wipe it off.
Are they hard?
Yes. Well, no. They're like squishy, but they smell like poop and diarrhea. So it's like, oh, now I know what poop tastes like. That's the segment. That's the segue noise to the next topic we're going to talk about.
I think that's the key word. If we just want to jump ship, things are getting a little wrong. We're just.
Anyways, what do you want to talk about on today's podcast?
Good question.
I was like, literally, there's no pressure. We literally talk all day, and then we sit down, and we're just like.
I know. I think we haven't stopped talking, to be honest with you.
No.
I think I told you earlier. I was just being honest with you. I was like, I just want to Google like podcast ideas.
I was like,
it's easier. And then I'm like, no, there's got to be something.
It's the easy cop out.
Well, it is the easy cop out.
What is something recently that you've seen God move in your life about, to segue deep?
Oh, okay. I would say moving like with fear, not with fear, but against fear. Sorry. I think ever since I was a little girl, I was always just really fearful. I don't know if that was just kind of generational or just, I don't know. I was just really a fearful kid. And it caused me to miss out on a lot of things, a lot of opportunities that I do believe are given to me that I just was like, I can't do this because I was just simply fearful. So I think you come to a point where you're just like, I am not going to turn down things that are coming to my feet that I want to do, that I have passions for anymore. I'm not going to turn them away anymore.
Yeah.
So one of them was actually worshiping again at a women's ministry that I go to on campus called Delight. I was able to join their worship team and worship for the first time, and it was amazing. And it was something that I've always loved singing. I've always done it, but sometimes it's like you just kind of feel like this push and pull, and you wonder, why are you being kind of like led away from that? But that's really like what my heart loves to do.
Yeah.
So just be like, nope, don't care, gonna do it, gonna worship God, gonna praise God through this and lead other women in worship through this. And I feel like it was just so freeing, and it was just really I just kind of felt whole.
Rejuvenating.
In a way. Yeah, really just kind of felt whole. I was like, I love to do this, and the fact that I can do this but also worship God at the same time, like it's not theater or it's not a theatrical performance, it's just me worshiping God with what God's given me and the talents he's given me. I was just like, I just felt like like thank you almost in a way, like a huge thank you.
Because you used to do theater too, huh?
I did it growing up. Yeah.
Can we talk about that? And then we'll talk about how we actually first kind of met.
Yes.
Yes.
So silly.
So segue. No, literally do that every time.
Wait, yeah, I will.
So me and Anna grew up in the same town, never saw each other.
No.
I feel like you were friends with like friends I knew. But
yeah, me too.
We both went to the same acting camp at a place called the Frank Center.
Love the Frank Center.
Silly camp, silly improv stuff.
It was fun.
It was so much fun. It was so much fun.
Spent every summer.
I did like magic camps too every summer.
No, I wasn't into that, but
so fun.
Still fun. Still really cool that we have that.
The guy's name was like Will Dudley or something. The magician. I don't know how I remember that.
Mr. Dudley.
Literally. So I find myself in this acting camp, in this little theater camp. Shout out to Bella Casholi. I know you're going to be watching this.
So
she was with us. But we literally we're in this acting camp. And I just remember you like being there. And I never talked to you.
I don't think I talked to you either because we talked about this when we met formally for the first time at youth group. Little campfire, camp out, fun little backstage.
Did you even know I was there? Or I brought it up?
Did I know you were there?
Yeah. Or like when I bring it up, you were like, oh yeah, I went to that too. And then you're like, oh
no, you brought it up.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh yes, because I knew I had seen your face. I had seen your face with other friends that I had known through social media, so I knew of you, and especially with one of my close friends. You guys were close at one point, so I saw a lot of you through that.
Yeah.
So when you came up to me, it wasn't really like a shock or like nice to meet you. Like, I'm Anna. Like, it was just kind of like, oh, hey, Caleb. Like, I know of you, but we're not, like, formally friends. Or not that. So, when you mentioned that, I was like, oh, like, you're one of the people, like, way back when that, like, we probably were, like, arm in arm, you know?
Yeah.
So.
There's probably a lot of parts of that acting camp that I don't remember.
Same.
I remember we did, like, a Jack and the Beanstalk poem. It was like, do you remember that? I don't think you were part of that group. It was, like, we were all on the stage, and we had to memorize this. And they planted the beans and the beans and the cow and the cow and the bean. It was like all of these things.
Oh, I remember the beans and the beans and the cow and the cow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried looking it up so many times because it's like
scatting.
It was so fun.
Yeah. No, they really are fun, and like the group of kids that are there too, like it just becomes, I don't know, it's just really fun. I had so much fun growing up doing theater. But to tie in with fear, I literally was like mortified. Like I could not go to the theater. I think it was the first time my sister was auditioning for a show. We were literally walking across the stage to get to the audience to literally sign up. And I had a mental full-on, as a young child, a full-on mental breakdown. Like started screaming, crying. Like I couldn't handle being on the stage. I literally thought that I was going on the stage to perform. Yeah. My mom was like, what the heck is this kid doing? Like,
wait for a tryout?
We weren't even going to try out yet. We were just walking across the stage to go try out. Yeah. And so just long story short, my mom... It was 2000 and, I don't remember the year. I was in second grade. And, you know, I'm singing, I'm dancing in private, you know, and I love doing that. And then I think she told me I had like a dentist appointment or something after school. She took me to audition for Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And I was like, she's like, no, you're doing this. You're doing this. Because she knew. She knew that I was theatrical. I loved it. And then I wanted to do that, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And so she like tricked me into going and shoved me in the door. I was like, see ya. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, my brother.
And did it, loved it. My favorite show I've ever done to this day. And it was just, you just kind of feel like that you're at home. I don't want to be cheesy or cliche, but you just kind of feel like that's your place or that's your thing.
Yeah.
And it just clicked for me. And I was in children's chorus and I loved it. It's one of my favorite shows, favorite roles to this day. And I've done a lot of stuff on stage. I've done a lot of really cool things that have been really big gifts. But even then, I couldn't, you know, like the fear.
Did theater kind of help you break out of your fear?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure it did. Yeah. There's a lot of things I had to do where it was uncomfortable, or a lot of things on stage in front of hundreds of people that would go wrong.
Yeah.
You have to problem solve on stage.
Improv.
Yeah. Or your mic pack comes off during your opening scene. You're coming out of a huge cake and your mic pack gets knocked off and you have to dance with your mic pack. Like, it's just things that like, and you're like, okay, this is opening night. You've prepared months for this. And then that something like that happens. Like, you just learn how to, I don't know. Theater kids, they're kind of elite. They just learn how to adapt. And there's a huge stigma around theater kids, but it's like, you know, built different.
Yeah. I always wanted to do theater, but I knew that I would get bullied even harder.
No, that's the sad part. It's so fun.
I bet it is.
And I met some of the best people. I have some of the best relationships from theater. Some girls I will never, ever, like, not be friends with that I love to this day. And, but it definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone. Like, for example, my first kiss ever was in front of 300 plus people.
Oh my
gosh. So it was
gosh.
kind of hard because it was like, yeah, something
Yeah.
so like that you dream of, and you watch the Disney Channel growing up, and you're like, oh my gosh, my first kiss is gonna be a foot pop in front of the flower fields or something. No, it was on stage.
Disney Channel stigmas.
Right. Or same thing with
Stereotypes.
prom. When I got to prom, I didn't have prom. I was like, my world was shattered because I had this like Disney Channel image of prom, and I'm like, okay, this is.
I skipped prom. I tell you that.
You skipped.
I
You
skipped
guys had prom?
at Harper Creek. Yeah.
We did not have prom. Marshall High School was like, no, you will die.
So
We
it was after.
gather together.
It was like June. Like it was after school got out or like later. So they were going to have prom and I was like, well, my cousin's open house is literally like he's going to come to mine. I want to come to his so bad. And like he's my cousin. I've grown up with my cousin. And it's like I cannot miss Aiden's open house.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, screw prom. All the other high school dances, so overrated, so like dirty and like ridiculous, and like all like the mosh pits with all these stupid rap songs.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's overrated. Like I don't want to stand outside of a mosh pit.
Stinky.
But so I ended up going to his open house, skip prom, didn't regret it. I'm happy to say that I skipped prom, and I like to this day, I remember the one time my only dance that I absolutely loved was. It was like, maybe it was a winter carnival or something in a barn. It kind of reminded me of the Hicks's barn.
Oh, cute.
So it's like this big barn where you can have like wedding stuff and
I
like
think I know what you're talking
reception type stuff. And so it was a big barn out in this country. And I was just like, I was by myself. I didn't really have a date. And I was just dancing in this circle. And I found a barn cat. And I have this video of me just like holding this cat, like dancing to this music.
That's funny.
I'm like, this is fun. Okay, I want to go home now.
I'm done.
That's it. Yeah. Okay, I kind of thought of something too.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about college, and we were talking about, you know what I'm going to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
Like people going into it a lazy way or being productive.
Oh, yeah.
So like we see people our age, throwing away their scholarships or just partying through college and, wasting their potential.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to talk about what it looks like. Maybe if somebody is like wasting their potential or like partying through college, like maybe encouragement to that rather than like shame. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh yeah, they're wasting their college, they're partying away.
That's truthful.
And you can enjoy college, but I feel like don't waste the opportunities that are in front of you.
Right. And I guess it's hard to speak that to somebody who's currently going through like a challenging time where they don't see that. They don't have that same perspective of you as if, oh, I don't think I'm wasting my time or I'm doing just fine or I'm getting by with these kind of grades. But looking back, I think it's important to speak like healthy habits into them now and like healthy tendencies into them now. Because the habits that you're forming now and when you're 19, 20, or in your early 20s are the habits that you're going to keep with you for a while. And of course, you can always change your habits, but in your lifetime with your brain developing and everything, your frontal cortex, your cerebrum, all of that, it's important what pathways that you're establishing now you're going to carry with you.
Yeah.
So
I think what you're doing now really matters because, do you want to get married someday? Do you want to have kids someday? Start being the role model that you want to be for your kids now so that when you do get into a marriage or you do become a dad or a mom, that you already have that established and you're not just now learning how to mature as an adult. It's like healthy margin with the things that you're doing, cutting off those high school strongholds that I have talked about on the podcast before, that immaturity, there is a transition from that high school teenage age into college age, into adulthood, And so what does that kind of look like for you? Like transitioning from high school into college and now kind of taking on adult things.
It's a really good question because it's something that you deal with and you figure out, but sometimes that you have someone ask you that, you're like, whoa, now I have to talk about kind of like what I've lived in and lived through.
Mm-hmm. What's your 10-year plan?
Yeah. First and foremost, I think I don't know, sometimes I feel like, wow, I really think that gap year should be applauded more. I do understand that. It is worth it. And a lot of times too, I think the biggest reason why I'd advocate for that, even for myself, was because at that age, going into college, going to a 4-year college, starting out, the amount of people who really are set in stone on what they want to do is very, very small.
Yeah.
And it's such a pivotal time as a teenager going into your early 20s, and to have to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life in a career, very difficult. And for me, it was actually, I just found passions through that. I started out with nursing. And then I was like, well, okay, don't like working with medicine. So then I was able to branch out into that healthcare field and find other professions in my major now.
Mm-hmm.
And, so it's a lot of discovery in a way. I think too, I felt so insecure at first, even in a dorm, because I'm not in my house. I'm not with my dishwasher or the things that, you know what I'm saying? The things that would take care of you, and the security you have around you. You have a house, you have access to cars and family members who can help you. Whereas in college, it's a lot about figuring out on your own, being responsible, taking accountability, and figuring it out. And I can't tell you how many phone calls I've had home be like, how long do I cook a salmon for? Like, what is it cooked yet? Like,
Right.
or just how do I get this off? Or like, what's the remedy for taking this off? Or like, why isn't it the washing machine working? So it's like
stepping out of that comfortable.
It's hard. It's hard. And I also I really miss my family. I love my family, and it was hard to go away for a while. So you have a big stigma around like community colleges, to be honest with you, but I got to school and we're going through orientation, and the guy says it's smarter to go to community college first and then go to a 4-year. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm sitting there in freshman orientation as a student and I'm like, what the heck? So there's this huge stigma, but sometimes kids need more time at home. Sometimes kids, they're not ready to leave right away, and that's okay. Right. That's okay.
Right.
You're saving money, you're taking it slower, and you're making more thoughtful decisions. You're working.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways you can look at it. I think this year I just got into my first apartment and I felt much more at home. It was quieter. I was more comfortable. I had my own room, my own space to just have quiet time or to just be with God more intentionally. I had a living room, like really cool things, like my first little living room, my first big fridge, kind of really fun things. And then girls to share that with. And that's been so special and so fun. So fun. But it hasn't always been easy. Freshman year easily was one of the hardest times of my life. Not only physically, but emotionally, unfortunately, just with that, timeline
all
of
the
life.
change.
All the change. And for me, talk about the same thing with fear. I hate change. I've always hated change since a young child. I don't know why, but it comes, right hand in hand with fear. Why was I so fearful? Why was I losing sleep at night? I don't know. Think too, your mindset during this changing time really matters. The thoughts that you take on, are they God's thoughts? Are they good thoughts even? That all matters, especially when you're moving on, moving out, and moving forward. You've got to help yourself.
God's timing is so important. We talked about that today too. Because we talked about, if you are trying to do things in your own timing, it's really not going to work out. Because God's plan, his plan will always persevere.
Right.
And it's always way better than our own.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we lean into God's timing rather than trying to figure out life on our own, it's how much more beneficial and peace will we feel?
Right.
Right. It's not worth it to try and do life on our own. We weren't made to do life on our own. We were made for community.
Yeah.
Not only with Jesus, but with other people.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I've just talked about too, like in the beginning when you asked me that really big question, it was just kind of about fear. And I've really found true freedom from being released from this, and kind of just to say that real freedom is no fear. Yeah. And that's kind of what I've been walking in. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And true freedom is just having no fear, and that's only something that's going to come from God. I can't just make up my mind I'm going to walk in this and not be afraid. Of course, my flesh is going to be like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Yeah. But you'll really just go, nope, I'm not my own. These steps aren't my own. This language isn't my own. God's before me. God's ahead of me. just no fear. And I think during that time of life is like that's like the most important thing to put ahead of you is just knowing that, you know, I'd rather struggle down my own path or God's path than run down my own, you know.
Yes.
I want to be where
Yeah.
God is going, what God has for me. And sometimes it's going to be a lot of no's or maybes or, you know.
You would rather struggle down God's path than struggle down your own.
Or just like run down my own. Good. You know, I'd rather struggle down. I'd rather crawl down what he's got for me and endure it than just fly down whatever I want to do, whatever I want to be doing. Not going to be, no, that's not what I'm, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true freedom is just having no fear. It's something I've really been able to get that is something to answer your question after all of that God has really revealed to me lately. I'm just so thankful for that. I've just been thanking him for that, really.
Yeah. Just kind of as we make a way towards the end, for me, the end. We sing flesh to it. Anyways, do you have any encouragement for me as I step into a new season? Moving literally 9.5 hours away in August.
I haven't,
because I know you've had 2 years under your belt moving away from family. Me neither. I'm not thinking about it till I leave.
The fact that you just said that, I'm like, wait a second. I don't think you really want to go to college, Caleb. Do you really want to go to college? Because I don't think you really want to go to college.
Wait, before we go down that route, we were talking about me, you, Parker, maybe. Oh, wait, me, you, Parker, Elijah, Melody, all driving down to Florida.
They don't know this, so we're going to watch this and be like, what?
What? Elijah and Melody, we're going to Florida before I leave.
Like 3 nights, 4 nights, 5 days, something fun.
All share an Airbnb,
something.
Eat. Yeah.
Sleep.
But before
beach,
I leave. Yeah.
Before you leave. Yeah. Do something fun. Make a big memory, something.
Yeah.
Go travel a little bit.
I love traveling.
I do too. I don't do it enough. So I'm like, I'm just going to save money and go see some stuff I haven't seen. I'm like, I haven't seen enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, some advice for you.
As I'm literally moving 9.5 hours away, somewhere I've never been, not knowing anyone. I mean, I'm not nervous. I'm excited,
you
but
should be so excited.
I feel like, what do you want to say about that?
It's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's going to be a phase where you're just like, what the heck? Is this right? Is this wrong? Like, what am I doing? You're just going to be you're going to be sharing a room with someone. Do you get to choose your roommate?
No, but I've been praying for my roommate. I've been praying that my roommate, I told God, I said, sometimes I get jealous of that other, like a healthy jealous where you're like, you hear people, they're like, yeah, my roommate from college, like we've been best friends for years. Like, that's cute. I want to have that relationship with my future roommate.
Yeah, I didn't have that. So I want to pray that.
Yes.
I want that for you
I'm believing desperately. That if God is leading me towards this college, he will provide the roommate he wants me to be with.
Right. It's going to be uncomfortable, but enjoy it.
Yeah.
I am halfway, almost done with my second semester of college, which is what that's how long you're going. 4 semesters.
We're graduating at the same time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I hope I'm graduating at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Based on what I do.
Yeah. Based on what you do.
That's a whole nother thing I have to figure out. But I will also be praying for your roommate. Okay, the advice I'd have for you. You are never going to be in that situation where you're going to be around that many people again.
Wow.
Think about that. In your dorm, in your everyday where you can walk outside, all of that, who you're around, there's not going to be a situation where you are living like that, where you are around so many people again. Take advantage of it.
Yeah.
It's really fun. Dorm life is really fun. I am so glad I'm out of the dorms, but it was like a big clubhouse, and you heard all your neighbors, and it was fun, and you could just go down the hall and borrow a muffin pan, and it was fun. I take advantage of it. It's so short. So just enjoy every moment you have.
Yeah. Give me all the college advice. Seriously.
I will. Your work is God's work. So think about when there's gonna be sometimes you're like, why am I doing this? You're gonna be up to like 12, and you're like, I do not want to label amino acids anymore. I am losing my mind. I'm at my wit's end. But to understand that you're working hard for God, God's work, God's will, God's plan, it makes it all worth it. Like, okay, this is not my work. This is your work. This is
just
not
for clarity.
time.
I'm going to a Bible college.
So,
Anna is studying medical stuff.
Yes. allied health sciences, if you will. I think that's what it's under.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Probably should figure that out. Anyway, it's so specific that I just don't know what to put it under. I think it's allied health. Anyway, moreover, take advantage of everyone you're going to meet. Really take that time to just build deep connections and take those people with you all the way.
Yeah.
I really would take also that opportunity to evangelize with people on your campus, and which is going to be like a great environment for you to just go out and do that and talk to people who may not know, even though it is a Bible college and most everyone there is going to be
be encouraging.
Yes. And take advantage to just pray over people and to just advance your prayer life and get closer to God. It's a great opportunity for you to go out of your comfort zone into something really uncomfortable but so great, and just cling to God and be close with God. I feel like too, it could be opposite. Like it could be a time where you kind of fall away and you're like, whoa, I'm just kind of swimming in all these things around me. Like, how am I going to navigate this? Or you can just stay right close and be like, I'm hiding you, God. Like, this is your fight. This is your battle. This is your plan. But I am so excited for you because it's, from what I've seen, great school, great college. And you are like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes away from great churches down south that are just like on the move, like on fire for God, like really making change and revival. So for you to be around that is really spectacular. Yeah, it really is.
I'm thinking about this, and it's like, I don't need a fresh start, but that's what it's going to be. I'm going to be moving somewhere where it's going to be a fresh start. And how am I going to approach this fresh start? Like you said, you can either fall away or you can grow deeper. I'm going to grow deeper.
Heck yeah.
I don't have any plans to fall away from Jesus anytime soon or ever. So yeah, I'm approaching it as a fresh start, and it's literally 158 days away.
Oh my gosh. So when's your move-in date?
August 12th.
That's early.
You think so?
Yeah, my apartment wouldn't open up. Like, I think I started school the 31st.
Whoa.
It wouldn't let me move until like the 28th. And I was like, what? And some of my friends had been there since like the 15th of August.
My dad is visiting the college before I even go. He's going to see it before I do.
He's going to be praying over everything.
Oh, yeah. He met the chancellor, who's the pastor of Highlands College, before I did. But I'm not visiting down there until I get down there.
Yeah,
it's going to be a good surprise.
That's how I was. I did not see where I was living or GV until I got there. It was fun.
Okay. I know what the last point I want to talk about is. Oh, awesome. And I'm going to change how I'm sitting.
I think I might adjust myself as well.
Okay. For anybody out there, do that.
My eyes kind of melted.
Shake it. Oh, that's so pitiful.
We're getting down to the end, y'all.
Wait, let me do that louder. That's better.
Deserving.
Okay. For those listening and watching, I was talking with Anna about, what was I just about to say? Am I brain farting right now? Jesus, give me clarity. He did. He just gave me clarity. I was talking about how I don't feel the need to go down and visit my college until I get there. Mm-hmm. And, people are asking like, why? Like, don't you need to like go visit it? Like, see if you like it. And it's like, okay, I've prayed about it a lot. I've felt my peace from God. Mm-hmm. I do not need to go down there to double check what God has already given me peace about.
Yep.
And so I'm excited. I know it's from God. I've asked him to close the doors if they're supposed to close, and they have started flying open. And so I would encourage those listening or watching and say, if you feel peace about something that God has told you to do, you don't need to go double check it. Mm-hmm. You just need to follow through and be faithful and obedient. Mm-hmm. Or if you are unsure about something that you are walking towards, or just something going on in your life, ask God to either open those doors all the way before you make that decision or close them. Whether it's a relationship, whether it's a college, whether it's just any decision, any big thing that you're going through, God wants to give his input. And so ask him and just say, God, I trust you. Open these doors if you want this to happen. Mm-hmm. But if you don't, close them all the way.
Yep. Yeah, I'd agree. And I think that too, having the discernment to listen to when God is really speaking to you. Sometimes the enemy will make me even feel like, oh, well, you just thought of that. Or, oh, that's just you thinking those things. No, like God will be speaking to you if you ask, and if you're asking questions, and just make sure you're just leaning in and you're really listening. And when you are in your quiet time, your private time that you're asking God. God's gonna talk to you. God's listening to you. God's
Invite him
hearing
in.
you. Invite him in, and don't let the enemy make you feel silly or inferior or thinking, oh, I just thought of that. That's not no. God's talking to you. So just take that leap of faith, and any fear that you have, I would just say you challenge it. You just throw something right back at it. 'Cause that's what I've done, and I've just felt freedom like I've never felt before. So you'll have the enemy try to throw bombs in your way. You throw a bomb right back. You don't let it overcome you.
Yep.
So
I like that. Thank you for that last point of encouragement.
yeah,
I really loved our conversation.
I did too.
Happy belated birthday,
Thank
Anna. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, guys. Wasn't that such a fun conversation with Anna? She's so fun. I hope you guys enjoy this episode as much as I did, whether you're listening on this Monday or a Saturday or a Sunday. Whatever it is, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to leave a rate and review so that this podcast can get to more people and just help them to have a great week as well. And if you haven't, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at It's Kale McCarthy to follow along with the podcast, or on YouTube at just Kale McCarthy if you don't have Spotify to watch the video. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and stay blessed. Bye.